an intro, and this is a Pringle. Hi everybody, this is Diana, aka Pop Culture Diva 42, and this is another Supernatural Snap Show. One where I will talk about the second episode in the third season of Vampire Diaries, The Hybrid, and the season premiere of Supernatural. So the second episode of Vampire Diaries, I have to say I liked it more than the season premiere, for the simple fact that I feel the premiere focused a lot on shock value and gore, whereas this episode focused more on developing the storylines of this season, and all of them really interest me. You know, we have vampires, we have werewolves, and now we have ghosts. So Vampire Diaries this season is literally a smorgasbord of supernatural, with the witches I think the witches are going to come in pretty strongly too, because witches so far at this point are the only way to stop Klaus. And also the true bloodization of Vampire Diaries continues, because this episode was quite bloody and quite gory. There was a big mass killing, so to speak. So yes, the whole darker vibe that I sense with Vampire Diaries this season is still there, but I like where Caroline and Tyler's story is going, where I really didn't like them together last week. And I also really like Jeremy and Matt together. I think those characters have a lot in common, and I really understand why their paths are crossing at this point. But what really this episode brought about was the fact that we finally saw Klaus fail in a very big way. And I'm already concerned because I see comments on YouTube from girls who are like, "Oh, Klaus, there's goodness in him, I just know it." And I'm thinking, no, don't do that. Don't humanize the character of Klaus. Klaus is an evil psychopath, deserves to be killed, just like Stefan and Damon for that matter. But Stefan and Damon are the main characters of the show, and girls are supposed to like them. But Klaus, don't humanize Klaus. Don't, please. If you're an intelligent female watching Vampire Diaries, for fuck's sake, don't feel sorry for Klaus. Klaus is evil, and that's how I want him to stay. Another thing that I really liked about The Hybrid is that it focused more on developing the stories, which again I like. All the season stories so far. Maybe partly because Bonnie still hasn't showed up, and there are fewer characters that are uninteresting to me than in previous seasons. But I really like the fact that they focus more on developing the stories and less on the sentimental melodrama. There was a little bit of melodrama between Damon and Elena right at the end of the episode, but I kind of liked the direction it was going, because Damon was like, you know, I'm going to be the better man, I'm going to bring Stefan back to you, and then I'm going to let you choose which one of us you want to be with. And although I still think that Damon and Stefan should be staked for being, you know, loose cannons, I definitely I appreciate more that direction than Damon the martyr or the victim that couldn't control himself that he was in previous seasons. So all in all, Vampire Diaries, The Hybrid, a step up from the premiere for me. Supernatural is back this week, and I was never a Supernatural fan, but the way the last season ended, I figured with 7th season I'll try to watch it on a week-by-week basis. So the season 7 premiere was interesting, I guess. It wasn't a complete disappointment. I liked that they picked up exactly where the last season ended, right at that time. And I really liked Misha Collins in this. I think he had a great performance. But there was just a lot of wasted time in this season premiere, in the sense that Castiel was a god and he was going on his murderous rampage, while the boys were just hanging out at Bobby's scrapyard fixing the Impala. And I understand that the Impala is important to the mythology of the show and whatnot, but they already had the resource at their disposal to deal with the Castiel god situation, but they just wasted a lot of time until they finally used that resource. It was also good to finally see Def again. Def is one of my favorite secondary characters. But watching this premiere, I thought, you know, this is entirely a man's show, because there are only guys in this. There isn't a single female presence in this first episode, and you know, they had to deal with a lot of stuff, so I understand that. But I really wish in the 7th season that we're going to see some more feminine secondary characters, because girls in Supernatural really almost always get killed or pushed aside, basically. The big revelation of the episode was the villain of the 7th season, namely the Leviathans. Now, the Leviathans are beasts that God created before he created humans, and I'm just disappointed that it's the same story as in every season of Supernatural so far. God created something before humans, that thing goes crazy. It was Lilith, there were the angels, then there was the mother of all dragons, fuck, I'm thinking of Game of Thrones, the mother of all monsters last season. So it seems that every single thing that God created before humans was fucking insane and evil and stuff. So it feels like, well, he finally created humans, which were kind of evil bastards ourselves. But then, of course, he would have quit, because he thought, well, I might as well quit while I'm ahead. Everything I created so far is evil and crazy. At least these humans are kind of I'm out of here before all hell breaks loose. And in Supernatural's case, that is the church, literally. So with the 7th season of Supernatural, I'm not terribly excited by the premiere. It seems like it's the same old with Supernatural, and the villains are going to be just the same glib little monsters that make lots of pop culture references, which in the Leviathan's case would be kind of funny because they've actually been trapped in purgatory for tens of thousands of years. So I don't know how up to date they are with Twitter and stuff. But again, I can't say that I didn't enjoy it, just that I definitely wasn't blown away by it. Then again, I am a little bit biased against Supernatural. But I think I'm going to give this season a couple of more episodes, at least a chance for a couple of more episodes. All in all, yes, the season 7 premiere was enjoyable.